Today's hike takes me to Horseshoe Dam. This dam was built between 1944 and 1946, creating Horseshoe Lake. And the cool thing about this dam is that you can hike behind the waterfall. The waterfall's created when they release water from the Verde River through the dam. Horseshoe Dam's located about an hour and a half from Phoenix. Take Cave Creek Road north, head to Bartlett Dam Road, and then turn on Horseshoe Dam Road. It turns to dirt, and you'll have about 10 miles of dirt road, which they say or recommend high clearance, but it was an excellent road and had recently been graded. It's located in Tonto National Forest, so a Tonto pass is required. A daily pass is $8, but the interagency America the Beautiful pass is good for picnic areas. And there's the dam in a distance, and signage to get there is excellent. And now I've arrived at the parking lot. And there were a couple other cars there on this day, but they soon left and I had the place to myself. So let's get started on the hike and check it out. You can see the water running over the concrete. And we'll soon be hiking down there. I guess I should mention that this is just a short little hike, one that just about anyone can do. And since we are in the Tonto National Forest, there are plenty of sites right around here or nearby that you can continue your hiking adventures. Today, we're just doing the dam. And this is the cool part. As you hike through this, we're actually going to be hiking behind the waterfall. If you want to do this hike and see this waterfall, make sure you Google to see if they're releasing water at Horseshoe Dam. If they aren't, you can still do the hike, but you'll miss the excitement of actually hiking behind the waterfall. Just a spectacular sight to see, the water coming crashing down. A little bit of a mist, fog up your lens, so be prepared. But it is a cool sight to see. Let's start off with your trivia questions. What river feeds Horseshoe Lake and on down below it, Bartlett Lake? Well, if you were paying attention earlier, you would have heard the Verde River. Some people are surprised to see lakes in the desert. So here's your next trivia question. How many lakes are in Arizona? Let's make it simpler. Is it more or less than 100? If you said more, you would be correct. There are 128 lakes in Arizona. Do you know what state has the most lakes? You might have guessed Minnesota, since their motto is land of 10,000 lakes. But does it have the most lakes? If you guessed Minnesota, you'd be wrong. It's actually Alaska. Minnesota is actually only third. Wisconsin has more lakes. Here's a tough question. What state has the fewest lakes. You'd think it'd be out in the desert, such as Arizona, maybe Nevada. Well, it's actually Maryland. And do you know how many lakes they have? If you guess 0, you would be correct. Hard to believe there's a state without any lakes. I guess I should clarify that too. That is natural lakes. Most of Arizona's lakes are man-made by blocking the rivers. So that raises a question, how many natural lakes occur in Arizona? I mentioned that there are 128 lakes in Arizona, but how many of them are natural? We'll make this multiple choice. Would it be 2, 10, 25, or 68? So again, the number of natural lakes in Arizona, and your answers are 2, 10, 25, or 68. What did you guess? Did you figure that probably half of them were natural? You guessed 68? Well, if you did, you'd be wrong. Did you guess that only 2 of them are natural? Well, if you did, you'd be correct. Yep, Arizona only has 2 natural lakes. Mormon Lake up at Flagstaff and Stoneman Lake near Sedona. Horseshoe Dam is 144 feet high and 1,500 feet long. In 2017, it was listed in the Register of Historic Places. It's kind of cool sitting there watching the waterfall, looking downstream to the crystal clear blue lake. There's something soothing kind of listening to it. And I guess I got carried away, took more videos and pictures than I should have. But that's not unusual. But once you're tired of being down there at the waterfall, you can hike up to the top of the earthen dam, looking out over Horseshoe Lake, Horseshoe Reservoir. Horseshoe Lake has a surface area of 790 acres and a shoreline of 27 miles. The average depth of the lake is 30 feet, with 77 feet being the deepest. Horseshoe Lake has carp, bluegill, crappie. It also has largemouth and smallmouth bass. It has channel catfish and flathead catfish. Brown trout fishing is said to be excellent after the month of October. And the lake is stocked with rainbow trout. There's also Apache trout. But it's a cool lake to see. And I know most of the visitors that came here just went to the waterfall area and never hiked up to the top to look out at the lake. You see, right there, you could park your boat and hike up to the top of the dam right there. Kind of cool to see. But if you're coming here, well, the waterfall feature might be the most spectacular. You don't want to miss the view from up at the top of the dam. So hike the little distance a little further. And no, you don't have to climb those stairs. It's a fairly easy hike. But you are limited. You can't hike across where the overflow is going. But you still get some good views, both downstream and upstream. Views at the dam. And then you get the spectacular hike back. And you see this waterfall again. It's like, wow, this is spectacular. Look at the water downstream. It's spectacular. It's so cool to be behind the waterfall. I think I'll take more videos, more pictures. And so you do. Reliving it again. It's neat to see the rocks where the water's crashing down. The green algae is growing up. Spectacular colors. So if you want a simple, easy little hike, what I think is a pretty good reward, this is one you can do. Be easy to take the kids on. And I know that they would enjoy this view from behind the waterfall. So since we've been talking about lake trivia, let's go with one more question. What is the largest lake in Arizona? Did you guess Lake Powell or Lake Mead? Well, the answer is Roosevelt Lake. Lake Powell and Lake Mead are partly in other states, Utah and Nevada respectively. So even though they're larger than Roosevelt Lake is the largest lake located entirely in Arizona. Did you know that Roosevelt Lake is also considered the largest man-made lake in the United States? I don't know how they figure these things, but that's what the internet said, so it must be true. But I hope you enjoyed this tour to Tonto National Forest to Horseshoe Dam. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.